So, my name's David. Welcome to my Twitter. Uh, the original intent for this project was to look back at what happened just after I finished this one big paper last semester. Um, After the semester, I crashed. Well, not like crashed like fell asleep. I had a nervous breakdown. I was jittery and crying and twitchy, and I chalk this all up to my inner madness and chaos, which I use often to fuel my writing. But and I tried to, and originally it was for me to try to actually recreate that experience, to go back to that moment when I wrote this paper, which I had been afraid up until that point to actually read. But when I actually started rereading my paper, I realized that I was actually pretty stable when I wrote it. That I wasn't, that I wasn't all that chaotic. Sure, there are some things I missed, some things that I could have elaborated on more and continued on more, but for what I did, it was good. And then I was also trying to figure out why I couldn't connect to that madness again. And I realized that to some extent I can. I can connect to the madness I used to write, but I couldn't connect to that nervous breakdown because, frankly, I'm not having a nervous breakdown. And part of the reason I think I couldn't was because, or that I thought I couldn't, was because I was afraid. But then I remembered through reading my paper that, I'd actually learned pretty much nothing from doing it. Not that I didn't learn things, not that I didn't, understand information which I gained through the research, but that I was not actively participating in the experience of research. That I was reading all this, and I was collecting this data, and I was writing a very good philosophical paper on video games. And a good portion of which was on identity switching, but I didn't even think about how many times I use identity switching to think in different ways, and to create characters, and to build worlds, and to make things. And so I'm looking now through a different lens. I'm looking at identity switching. I'm looking at at the personalities which I connect to in order to create. Over the course of this project, you'll see me connect to the madness, connect to to be the player of a game, to be the game master of a game, and to be, as I thought I could not be when I first wrote this paper, a theorist. Thank you. Below this video, you'll see my original intent, my original plan for my project on madness. And what you'll see is pretty damn chaotic. I wasn't planning. I wasn't thinking. I was just going where the madness took me. And that didn't produce a product which I was very happy with. No one else who looked at it was happy with it either. But I did realize something. I realized that what I had was a murder board. What a murder board is, I refer to it as this. It's a reference to Castle, this TV show I watch. On this cop show, they have this big board with pictures and notes and timelines and all of that to create to figure out where they're going. And I now have 3 of those. I have one which I made when I wrote the paper, which you can actually see above this video in the top bar. That top picture is the murder board which I assembled for my paper. There is the one which I used to write a step outline for a film which I'm currently trying to write a treatment for, and hopefully later the script, despite the fact that it's really depressing. And the last one is the first page of this Twitter. I am using this as a murder board, where I just stick up everything. I put everything onto the wall, and then I try to make sense of it.